As the most powerful man in the country, the Emperor of China had thousands of women at his disposal in the Forbidden City. Most women in the Forbidden City were employed as maids and servants. However, there was also a select group of concubines whose task was to bear children for the emperor, as many as he could father, and to satisfy his sexual needs. These women were chosen from all over the country, and only a few of those who made it through the rigorous process would be noticed by the emperor and win his favor. Most would spend their lives in bitter loneliness, and unsurprisingly, politics and jealousy was rife among them. Beauty was more of a curse than a blessing in China during this period of history. So what were the specific procedures for selecting a concubine during the Ming Dynasty? Well, let's find out. The selection criteria ranged from emperor to emperor. In the Ming Dynasty, for instance, no household was exempt from the selection. According to statutes, all young unmarried women went through shunu, the selection process. Only girls who were married or with certified physical disabilities or deformities were exempt. However, during the Qing dynasty, girls were selected exclusively from the hereditary military units known as banners. For instance, when the Ming Emperor Qianqi reached marriageable age in 1621, he sent eunuchs across the country to handpick 5,000 young women aged 13 to 16 to be his concubines. The selected candidates from all over the country were brought to the capital for the selection process, which was mainly conducted by eunuchs. During the first round of the competition, the selected women lined up in rows of 100 according to their age to roughly check their height and appearance. 1,000 were eliminated for being too fat, tall, thin, or short, and they were sent back home. Only 4,000 girls remained. On the second day, the eunuchs carefully examined the remaining women's bodies and evaluated their voices and general mannerisms. This slimmed down the competition by another 2,000. The third day was spent observing their feet and hands, and grace of movements. Another 1,000 women were sent home. The remaining 1,000 underwent gynecological examinations. During this round, an experienced old lady took the remaining women to a closed room to check whether there are spots or hemorrhoids on their body, and drew a conclusion about their virginity status. This was quite an important requirement. If a girl wanted to be a concubine, she was supposed to be a virgin, dismissing another 700 from the process. After this level of selection, there were about 300 women left. They all became court ladies, but whether they could become concubines required further investigation. The remaining 300 were then housed in the palace, where they underwent a month-long series of tests for intelligence, merit, temperament, and moral character. About 250 people who did not meet the above criteria were eliminated, and the remaining 50 people were finally promoted to concubines. The top 50 candidates were subjected to further examinations and interviews about maths, literature, and art, and ranked accordingly. At the last step, the Empress Dowager selected 3 people out of 50 for the emperor to choose. The emperor appointed the queen, and the other 2 women were appointed as noble concubines, but there were also gold and silver treasures directly given to their natal family. As we all know, the selection of concubines was closely related to the blood of the emperor's heirs. Hence, the selection process was very complicated and demanding. Apparently most of the candidates failed to make it.